Hey there, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm creating another Halloween layout with some of my childhood photos. These are the four papers I picked during my Making Halloween Page Kits video. I pulled this gray double dot paper from Bo Bunny. I added this stripe paper with the light and dark yellow orange stripes. And I have two sheets from the Simple Stories Boo Crew collection. I went back into my stash and I pulled one of these spider web papers from Making Memories. I feel like this is a better fit and I'm not going to use the gray paper at all. When I'm making kits, I'd rather have too many papers than not enough. So this Bow Bunny paper will go back into my B-Sides rainbow. I also pulled a sheet of basil black cardstock. I'm going to layer this spider web on top of the black, and this will be my background. I like this a lot better than the simple polka dots, and I feel like the black spider webs brings in the Halloween vibe. Here are the photos I'm going to scrapbook. I have three square photos of my brother and me in our Halloween costumes. I don't have the date, but I suspect we were probably about 5 and 6. Check out these funky costumes with the plastic masks. Very much a throwback to the 70s. If it were already cold by Halloween, we had to wear our winter coats under these things. I pulled some embellishments from my Halloween stash. Most of this is really old. Case in point, these word stickers from Little Yellow Bicycle. I'd love to get a few of these on the layout. Other than the green, the colors pretty much complement the papers that I chose. I also have some wordfetti stickers from Making Memories. I have a fun idea for these. I'm definitely going to use some of these vintage looking bingo cards from Jenny Bolin. Here are some boutique brads from Doodlebug. And I will use this pocket from Little Yellow Bicycle that says Top 10 Favorite Things I Love About Halloween. Not only for my journaling, but this is also the title for my page. And I have this bag full of acrylic words and brads. I will pull a few brads out to use on this layout. So that is what I'm using on my page today. I'm going to go cut my papers and then I'll show you the design ideas for this page. So here's how I want to put this page together. The spiderweb paper will be the background, and I trimmed this down to about 11 1/4 inches square to give me a little bit of the black to frame the layout. I add mats a lot after I complete a layout if I feel like the layout needs it, which means I have to trim the paper when the layout is done, and that's not the best way to go. So today I figured I'd just start out by matting the layout. My stars are also cut down to the same length, 11 1/4 inches, and I'm gonna line it up in the middle. I'll probably give myself a little bit more room on the top because I'll be tucking cards in. This strip is 1 inch by 11 1/4 inches, and it will be tucked behind the paper so you won't see a full inch of this. Same with the strip, which will go at the bottom and frame this star paper. Let me see if I can get this in here without the papers going everywhere. Okay, that looks good. And we still have some spider web both at the top and the bottom. Because this layout is made up of all blocks, I could have cut the spider web paper and just used strips because you don't see that much in the back. But I have 3 sheets of this and I don't need or want the scraps. My 3 photos are going to be clustered and overlap each other on the star paper. I'm not going to mat them. I think they stand out just fine. I'm going to add the pocket, which will be for the journaling and the title. I love when a product can double as two things. It gives you more room for the embellishing. I'm not sure of the placement yet. I'll figure that out when I glue down the photos. I did cut a few squares from the Boo Crew cut apart sheet. I have a ghost, a pumpkin, eek, 31, the cute eyes, and these two bingo cards. I'm going to glue everything down off camera and then we'll do the fun part, the embellishing. All of the papers are now glued down, and I attached my photos and the pocket. This pocket is also my title, so that saved me some time. I'm really glad I added in this two-tone yellow stripe paper. Now that I have the photos down, it really does help bring out the yellow colors from the photos into this layout. I'm using these strips for my journaling, and I thought it would be fun to bring in these word fetty stickers and add one to each strip as a journaling prompt. So let me line these up and I'll see if I can find enough words on this sticker sheet to trigger some journaling topics that I can pull from my childhood. I'm just going to handwrite on each of these strips so the journaling can't be super long, but I thought it would be a fun way to use up some of these stickers. As I'm going through all of the words and adding them to the journaling card, I do try to keep contrast in mind. If the border around the strip is orange, I'm trying to find a sticker in a different color. For this, I want the word stickers to stand out rather than blend in. It worked for the most part, but I did end up moving a few of the stickers to different cards when I added my handwritten journaling. I'm just searching through the sticker sheet for words I think will trigger a memory and adding them to a card. Some of the ones I picked are costumes, cooking, because I vividly remember my mom's go to meal for Halloween night. Darkness, because when I was a kid, daylight savings time happened the last Sunday in October, and it was always dark by the time we started trick or treating. It's getting cold because I remember us wearing our coats under our costumes. And October, which has always been one of my favorite months, and fall is my favorite season. This was a great way to start the journaling. Instead of snippets of memories, I might have just journaled something generic about our costumes. But the word Fetty stickers gave me fun prompts and helped me pull out some details about the Halloweens of my childhood. Details I haven't thought about since I was a kid. I did end up adding some wet glue to these stickers when I was adding the journaling. I've had these in my stash for many years, and the stickers did not maintain their stickiness. I guess that's the risk you take when you keep things in your stash for 15 years. These bingo cards will be layered above the photo. When I glued the paper down, I forgot to leave space for the layering. So I'm going to trim these down just a little bit. I wanted to add trick and treat because that's what we're getting ready to do here in the photos. I'm just going to commit these down and glue them down now. How are you with gluing as you go? Sometimes I move things around on a layout so much that it's better to wait and glue everything once I get it all situated. But if I'm pretty confident with my choices, I will glue as I'm creating. I do think it saves time in the long run. When things are moving around on me as I work, I want to move them all back, and that just takes extra time. I know for sure I want these cards to go right here. I thought these little eyeballs on this card would be cute up here behind the bingo cards, so I'm going to do the same thing. Trim it down and then glue it. This card came from the 2x2 cut apart sheet. I'm just going to grab it real quick to show you. This is where I pulled these fun eyeballs from. I think I'm going to add these two cards, the Eek and 31, over here above the photos. I'm going to put these on an angle like I did with the bingo cards. Because I have different paper layers here, the yellow stripes above the star paper, I can use the layers to help separate these two areas. The bingo cards are above the strip, and these cards will layer under the star paper, breaking up the yellow strip. It just adds a little more interest. The main embellishments for this page are the cards. I didn't want to crowd in a lot of other things. Instead, once I get the journaling strips on the page, the pocket will serve as the main feature. I still have these two cards, and at first I was thinking I would add them to the left side of the page, but it felt off balance. Even though I had space for them in that bottom left corner, it didn't feel right to me until I moved them here below the pocket. Why is that? To me, the flow of this layout is from the card 31. My eyes travel through the photos, down to the pumpkin and the ghost, and back up through the journaling pocket up to the bingo cards. If I added the pumpkin and the ghost below the photos, I feel like my eyes would then fall off the page, and that's not what I wanted. So I'm going to put them below the pocket, and I'm going to look on the sticker sheets to see if I can find some word stickers to add next to the photo. And now I'm going to go down the rabbit hole of trying to find word stickers that will work. As usual, there's trial and error here, and it takes me a few minutes to find what feels right to me. Ultimately, you can put your embellishments wherever you want, but when something doesn't feel right, I do try to see the visual triangles and keep the important things, the photos, the journaling, and the embellishments, somewhere on a visual triangle within my design. That might also help you get your own designs back on track if something feels off. I really wish that I had channeled Janet Madison when I was creating. She had a great washi tape visual that she'd bring out to show visual triangles on a layout. I will try to remember to do that the next time I'm struggling with a design. For the stickers, I'm scattering a few different words in different places around the layout. These words can work on any kind of Halloween layout. That's why I don't feel so bad that I've kept them in my stash all these years. Words don't feel dated to me the way that some of the older paper collections can feel dated. I did want to pull in stickers by my photos. Because I moved the pumpkin and the ghost, I wanted to bring some interest at that spot. I will add some finishing touches to that spot, and I'll bring in another layer of phrase stickers as well. I haven't used any of these brads in this bag yet, so I want to bring some in. I found one with a spider web, one with evil monster eyes, and a jack o' lantern face. I like where this is going. So now I'm ready to glue down the pumpkin and the ghost card. And then I'm going to get out a We Are Memory Makers piercing tool and add some holes on this layout to push the brads through. I do love brads, but I'm happy we've gone away from the old school prongs. These kinds of decorative brads are now flat back and have adhesive on them. These prong brads are harder to get in and get out of page protectors. And to that end, I will grab some acid free tape and I'm going to add a piece of tape to the back to tape down the metal prongs. You can do this with any kind of washi tape as well. This step just keeps the prongs from poking into the page behind it and helps the layout get in and out of the page protector more easily. That pink mat I'm using came with the We Are Memory Makers So Easy tool way back in the day. It still works great to poke holes into and to protect my work desk. The only green on this layout is on that journaling pocket. So I'm going to add 3 of these green stars from this Doodlebug Boutique brad set. These will repeat the stars from the background paper and add a little bit of green in 3 different spots on my layout, which, you guessed it, creates a visual triangle. I'm poking more holes for these brads as well. I loved these boutique brad sets. They had sets that were themed to go along with the collections, but they also had monochromatic sets in all of the Doodlebug colors, and I got all of them. I still have a lot of these and will eventually use them up. But the prongs, I will do the same thing here with these, adding tape strips on the back to keep the prongs contained. I haven't used these phrase stickers yet, so I'm going to go through these and pull a phrase to add to each of my embellishment clusters. I will add a few more of these after I get the enamel dots down, and you'll be able to see them at the end of the video in the close-ups of my completed layout. And if you'd like a sketch of this layout, I'll have a link in the description box where you can download it for free. I grabbed some enamel dots from my stash and I'm using yellow and orange. I love adding enamel dots as a finishing touch, and I wish I could say that adding enamel dots is easy for me, but I tend to be a bit indecisive. And when I put one down, I instantly regret where I put it and I want to move it. Does anyone else do that? It's not like you ever get the perfect placement. but with every layout, I sure do try. And once I get all of these down, that's where I will call this one done. I loved finding this journaling pocket in my stash. Adding the word Fetty stickers as journaling prompts is a great way to use them. This is a fun and different way to add journaling. And you don't even need a pre made product. We all have envelopes and pockets in our stash. Take one, make some journaling strips, and then add some words and phrases from any sticker sheet you're using on your layout, and you have instant prompts to help you tell the story. Thanks so much for watching, liking, and subscribing, and most of all, supporting my channel. See you next time.